So whenever I talk to people who's just starting out with photography, many times the problem that they seem to find is that they don't know where to actually start. They often ask, what do I take photo of? How do I practice my skills? And if you're one of those, or even if you're not properly starting out, but you find that you're quite stuck and you're not progressing as you would like, there's a chance that this video is for you. This video is 3 reasons why street photography is the best way to progress with photography. Reason number 1 is free and easy practice. Now, street photography is free because everywhere you live, you have streets, you have people, you have buildings. So you can just go out and go take photos. Now, of course, street photography is not as simple as just going to the streets and take photos of anything. But if you want to practice your photography, you're going to put yourself in a dynamic environment. You're going to learn to use your camera if you don't know yet, and change your settings reacting to that environment. And you're gonna find a ton of compositions just by turning your head or just turning a corner. Now, that is not the case for many other genres, because if you want to shoot events, weddings, you can't just go there and shoot anyone's wedding without knowing them or without getting approval. The same goes for concerts or sports events. And if you want to do landscape photography, you have to get up at uneasy hours, because landscape photography is usually done best at sunset or sunrise. You need to go location scouting, so you have to reach those locations more than once, and that's just not as simple as getting to the nearest city. Number 2 is gear doesn't matter. Now, if you've watched a lot of photography content, you've heard this phrase more than once already, but this is the most true when we're talking about street photography. You can literally use whatever lens you have, or it just comes down to personal preference. I've seen people shooting streets with the widest angle possible, and I've seen people shooting streets with a big fast telephoto lens, which I would never do, but they took some quite amazing shots actually. Now, street photography is usually shot with compact primes, and those tend to be the least expensive ones, so you don't need to go buy expensive gear to practice your photography. Number 3 is get better at anything else. There is just no way around the fact that street photography is, in my opinion, the most versatile genre of photography, because the basics, you practice all the basics of it. You practice anticipation, which is a skill that event photographers, reportage photographers, journalists, every single photographer needs, and you can practice that to a maximum level in the streets. You need to think a fraction of a second before, sometimes seconds before the action that you want to photograph actually happens. I'll repeat it, that's the most important skill in probably all of photography. One other very important aspect of photography that applies to every genre and that you can practice with street photography is knowing how to position yourself with regards to light and your subject. You know how that light interacts with your subject. You know how to position yourself in order to capture the most interesting light, and in order to have your subject lit in the most interesting way. And that comes very handy in every single genre. You know, have events, you know how to position yourself in a church or in a location, in an event. You'll even know how to anticipate the position of the sun in landscapes, because in landscapes you still have a subject, and the name of the game in that case is just to take a photo of that subject lit in the most interesting way. So there you have it. These are 3 reasons why I think that every photographer should try street photography. And if you're stuck or if you want to progress with photography, I think that you should give it a try and just let me know how it goes.